Hi guys, Buddy here. Thanks for watching my videos and for the Ocean Grove Voice for writing an article about my YouTube channel. How exciting! I am also excited to announce my first sponsor, Hot Shots, for all your barbecue fuels, firelighters and firewood. They are all available now at your local Bunnings warehouse. The stars keep on coming. Today I was lucky to interview ex-Bulldogs player Matty Robbins. Have a listen to the interview now. Hi guys, Buddy here. Today I am lucky enough to interview past AFL hotshot Matty Robbins. Matty played 7 games for Geelong and 139 for Bulldogs, kicking 135 goals. Matt.
G'day, how are you?
Good, thanks. Matt, thanks for taking my call. I hope you are well.
Yeah, going well, mate. Obviously living up in Ocean Grove now and get to see you running around as well. And yeah, it's good to be here. Thanks, mate.
Good to hear. Can I please ask you a few questions?
Yep, go for it, buddy.
Excellent. Matt, you were drafted at the end of 1994 to Geelong as a 17-year-old. How was this experience?
It was great, actually. I played my junior footy at Ormond, and then I was lucky enough to get on the Dragons list, which is they were Central Dragons back in the day, but I think they're Sandringham Dragons now. Played a handful of games and was lucky enough to get drafted to Geelong, and because I was young, obviously 17, I did my high school. I had to do my Year 12 year at Belmont High, which is just in Geelong, in Belmont. So, yeah, it was great to get drafted, but obviously it was even better to be in school and be on the draft list, so it was good fun.
Really? In your first year, Cats played in a losing grand final. That must have been cool being around a successful team.
Yeah, we had an amazing team that year. I think we won 13 in a row. I think we ended up playing Carlton in the grand final in 95. And I think they won 19 in a row. So there was pretty much the two best teams in the league. And I was lucky enough to be, training with these guys from week to week. And they made the grand final. Obviously, it didn't fall their way that day, but they had it was great to be a part of Geelong, and I got to know a lot of people throughout the town and stuff. It's a pretty good place to play footy.
Awesome. After 7 games across 4 years, you were traded to Bulldogs. Did you want to leave?
Yeah, well, I was because I've been Melbourne through and through, and grew up in Melbourne, so it was a chance. Initially, I didn't want to leave because I saw they were a pretty young team. I started to play all these young players, and I thought I could be a part of that. But the opportunity came to go back to Melbourne and be a part of the Western Bulldogs. They obviously offered me a 2 or 3 year deal and more opportunity to play senior footy. So I looked at that as a good opportunity to get home, and it was, and it ended up working out well for me because I ended up playing 10 years at the Bulldogs. So that was a good decision in the end.
Great. You wore number 30 at Bulldogs. What about Geelong?
At Geelong, my first year I wore number 46, and then I was lucky enough to come down to the numbers, and I got 42 in my second year, and then I had a pretty good pre-season, so they offered me number 4.
You played with some amazing players across both clubs. Who were the best players you played with?
So at Geelong, Gary Ablett Senior was probably the best player that I saw at Geelong. Buddha Hocking was a really good player. Paul Couch. They had a lot of good players back then at Geelong. And then when I went to the Bulldogs, obviously Chris Grant was a superstar. Scott West, Brad Johnson, Liberatore was a good player. So there's plenty of good players that I was able to play with So, and obviously against, so it was good fun.
That's so cool. I'm quite small, and you were for AFL football. However, you were known for your marking. Do you remember that one-hand screamer on top of Brisbane's Chris Johnson? Did you give him much lip?
Yeah, well, it was just lucky. It was around the time that the Bulldogs were just starting to come good, and we were kind of a young team on the build. We hadn't played finals previously, and we went through a stretch of probably 6 weeks where we were probably the most dominant team going around. But yeah, we were pushing to play finals, and I think we were just all having that really good 6-week period, and everything was falling our way. And I remember that day we played Brisbane. I kicked 5 for the day, and I was a bit lippy that day because I was a bit excited to take that one-handed grab at Etihad in front of a big crowd. So that was probably my biggest moment in football, taking a specky with one hand.
That's funny. Did you take any better marks than that one?
I took one going back with the flight against Adelaide. It was a pretty good mark as well. Like a lot of courage to go back with the flight, and could have been absolutely killed. But lucky enough, I managed to take the mark and didn't get wiped out. But probably my best mark I've taken was probably in an intra-club match with the Bulldogs. And that was going back with a fight, and didn't see anyone coming, and someone absolutely poleaxed me and knocked me out. So, but I took the mark. So that was probably my best mark that I've taken in a game.
Concussion is a major issue in the AFL. You are part of some ongoing research. What does that involve?
So that involves, we spoke to a neurologist, and they've been working with some of the guys that have had concussions, stuff like that, and just being able to work out some of the symptoms that might have been involved. I copped a fair few hits through my footy career, and a lot of that's just luck. Sometimes you're just in a bad position at the wrong time, and happen. That's all part of football. Unfortunately, it's a contact game, and everyone gets taught at a young age you want to put your head over the ball and stuff like that. So sometimes these accidents happen. So moving forward, we're just looking to put things in place with an AFL lawsuit to make sure that we're looking after the players in the future, and that if they need any ongoing help. Either be might be doctors' bills or whatnot that they're paid for through the AFL Players Association. So that's something that we all know the risks when we first start playing footy, but we just need to try and minimise it. And I think the AFL at the moment have gone through pretty good steps to kind of make sure that there's protocols in place to really make sure that they look after the players, because that's the main thing.
In your opinion, who wins this year's Brownlow and Grand Final?
In my opinion, I think I'd love for the Marcus Bontempelli to win. I think he's been amazing this year, and the amount of times he's stood up and got our side over the line, it's been crazy. But I reckon it's going to be, I wouldn't be surprised if it's a 3-way or a 2-way. I reckon Clayton Oliver's been amazing this year, and his form of late's been great. And Ollie won. So, a local boy from Ocean Grove, Sam Walsh, has been amazing too. I think he's been a really consistent player. Who do you think's going to win?
I think it will be Clayton Oliver and Melbourne to win the Grand Final.
Yeah, well, if the Dogs don't win today, we're on the Melbourne train. I've got a lot of Melbourne mates that, like when the Dogs won in 2016, I felt like whole of Victoria got behind us, and I think that'll be the case. If the Bulldogs don't make it, well, I think we'll be all jumping on Melbourne and hoping that they get there, because we've got to have these other teams that haven't won it in a long time. I think it's a great experience, and I really enjoyed 2016. Apart from it was against your Swannies, but I really enjoyed that time. So hopefully, if we don't win it, Melbourne can win it.
What involvement have you had in football since retiring back in 2007?
So when I left AFL, I went back to Ormond and won a premiership with your dad as assistant coach. And that was a really good year. We had a ball there. I got to play with my brothers. I played with one of my brothers, which is an amazing experience to win a flag with your brother. So, and then I just went and played some local footy elsewhere: Hampton, Hastings, Meenian, up in the bush. Did that for a while, and then I started getting involved with coaching again, and I've really enjoyed being an assistant coach and as well as a senior coach. So. Involved with Ocean Grove at the moment as a senior assistant, so helping out there, just getting to know a few people around the town. But the Grubbers are going really well this year, if you've been watching them, so all predicted to be a bottom two side. You know, I think we've got potential enough to make it to the grand final, so hopefully the boys can keep getting it done.
Last question. Tell us something about Matt Robbins that most people don't know.
Well, probably the biggest thing that people don't know about me that I keep a secret is my love of movies. I love to go watch movies, and I don't mind going and watching movies on my own because I like to enjoy the experience. But I'm a big TV guy, so I like me TV series. So me and my partner Rachel will sit there and watch heaps of TV shows and stuff. So that's probably my favourite thing to do outside of football.
Thanks, Matty, for your time and answers. I hope Bulldogs go well for you today and the Grubbers get back playing in the next couple of weeks. Stay safe.
Thanks, mate. Love you, legend. Look after yourself, and go Dogs and Grubbers.
Yeah. Thanks everyone for listening. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Buddy AFL reviews and interviews, and stay tuned for a massive star in the next week's edition. See you all next week.